Welcome back to the shop, everyone. This video is going to be kind of something a little bit different, maybe something kind of fun, cool little project for somebody to do. So I got this Stanley No. 6 hand plane off eBay, and it was pretty rusted whenever I got it. You can still kind of see on the inside, maybe I haven't cleaned this up yet, but I'm kind of doing a little restoration on it. I'm probably not really going to do a video on it. I'll probably just show and talk about what I did rather than make a video with a bunch of different clips, because it's really nothing fancy. But so you can see I've got it kind of cleaned up on the sole now and everything, got it nice and flat. I may eventually get a new blade and chip breaker for it because these are pretty beat up. I got it sharp enough to be used right now. I still have a fair amount of work to do on it, but this video is going to be making a new tote for it. This one still works and it would be fine, but it's kind of beat up and just doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to be making a new tote, and I haven't decided yet what kind of wood I'm going to use. It's going to be some kind of laminated wood, so I'll have two different colors, or two of the same color on the outside with a strip of something different going through the middle. I think it'll look pretty cool and give a nice little touch to this nice tool that's going to last for a very long time. And then eventually I might make another knob for it. This one still is in pretty good condition. It's got a little crack in it, but it's working fine. So, new tote in this video. This is going to be kind of a more explanation video. It's not just going to be clips without me talking. I'll kind of talk through what I'm doing, and hopefully if you have a hand plane that you want to put a new tote on, or if you buy one off eBay and the tote's broken or it doesn't come with one or something, you can watch this video and see how to make one. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got my materials here that I think I'm going to use. Funny enough, both of them are from my clock build, my shaker clock build video that I have up. I can't decide if I want to do walnut on the outsides with maple in the middle, or maple on the outsides with walnut in the middle. I know I'm going to do maple and walnut just because I like the contrast. But I've kind of measured the size of the tote here, and it's about 3.5 inches total this way from the front edge of the tote to the back, and then it's about 4.5 inches tall. So I'm just going to cut a rectangle that's 3.5 by 4.5 and then glue those together in the sandwich, and then I'll just be able to take the tote off and trace the shape out on that rectangle, and then I'll just use the bandsaw to rough out the shape, and then I'll use some hand tools, some files and that kind of thing to get the final shape, sand it, drill a hole, done. Okay, so I've got all my pieces cut in pretty flat. I've decided to do walnut outside with maple inside. So it'll look like that when it's done, have that maple strip going up the middle. And I think it'll be very pretty. So that's about it, I guess. Gonna put some glue on here, glue this up, and clamp the crap out of it and let it dry until tomorrow. And then I will come out and do the shaping tomorrow, and then it'll be finished. Then I'll finish it and put it on. So let's go ahead and glue this together. And go ahead and put my glue on the last piece here. And then we'll put our clamps on, and then let it dry. It's going to want to slide around, so I'm just going to start it with some of these little small clamps here. And this doesn't have to be exactly right, because a bunch of this is going to get trimmed off anyway, so it's not a huge deal if it doesn't line up exactly right. I shouldn't have put that much glue in there. Put this in the vise here. Try to get a couple more clamps on. So again, just to reinforce, these pieces don't have to be perfectly lined up all the way around the whole thing. I kind of oversized these just a little bit. And since most of this is going to kind of get cut away, it's not a huge deal if the sides aren't exactly perfectly lined up. But I got them all fairly close, and now we're just going to let this dry. Okay, so I just tried to record what I just did, but I forgot to press record. So I just took a 1/4 inch round over bit in my router and rounded over all these edges, just to kind of give me a head start on the shaping. Now I'm just going to kind of shape this part in a little bit here on both sides and shape this in just a little bit just to make it fit a little bit nicer in your hand so that it's not so squared off. So going to get that done, and then we'll drill our holes and do the final sanding and then finishing, and then it will be finished. So let's get started. Okay, so I just got some 100 grit sandpaper, just doing some hand sanding to kind of refine the shape and get out the marks from the rasp and any other kind of tool marks, and just make sure that it fits your hand good. The nice thing about doing your own handle is that you can kind of custom fit it to your hand, make it fit perfectly, make it feel real nice whenever you're planing. So just another added benefit of building your own handle for your plane. So, and then I'm going to drill my hole, which is going to be kind of tricky because I have to make sure that it is going to line up here and then drill my other hole in the front. And I got to make sure that I don't come through the front here because that would be a bummer. So just kind of take it and round off your hard edges, make sure it fits nice in your hands. Pretty good. Alright, let's try to drill these holes. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and drill our hole. It's going to go all the way through. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet because my drill bit isn't long enough, I don't think. So we're just going to go as far as we can, and then I guess figure out what to do from there. But how I found this angle was pretty much just take the old one, the old handle, and put it up in here on a drill bit and hold it straight, and then just adjust the table to sit flush on the bottom. So that's how I figured out what this angle was. So now I should just be able to drill this one straight through. I've got my center punched right there, and so I'll just lower the table down and then plunge it in and hope for the best. One thing you got to make sure of is that wherever your hole is, that your drill bit isn't going to come through the front here. So you can kind of lay it up there and eyeball it and make sure that you got enough room up here. It's going to be pretty close, just because of the nature that this thing is angled at. So just be mindful of that and make sure that you don't drill through the front of your handle here. So I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. This is going to be tricky. dangerous. Danger. Good. All the way there. So we still got that far to go. Still got about another, I don't know, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. Let me see, what could we do? Alright, so you can see I've got it fit onto the plane. Everything lines up pretty good now. I had to kind of trim it off because the hole wasn't exactly centered, so it was hanging off more on one side. So I just had to take all that down. And what I ended up doing to get the hole all the way through was just put the drill bit into the hole and leave it sticking out, and then take something that's straight and lay it on the side and draw a line to where it's going to come out the bottom, and then I just drilled in from the other side and found the hole, and then just kind of hollowed it out a little bit because that side doesn't matter, it doesn't have to look pretty. So that's how I did that, and then just drill another little small hole for this other screw up here at the front, and that's pretty easy. So I'm just doing some more sanding, lots and lots of sanding, and getting the final shape, but it feels really good right now. So I'll finish the sanding and then put some oil on it, and then should be good to test out. Alright, so I've got it sanded to where I want. I just sanded it with 1000 grit. Not really to necessarily make it super polished looking smooth, but just to make it feel better in the hand. It's still got a couple places that have some other sandpaper marks, but I don't really care about that because this is a tool that's going to get used. So it doesn't have to be, you know, show quality. So I got it sanded, feels nice, fits good in my hand. Now we're going to put some Danish oil on it. Put a couple coats of Danish oil, and then I'll finish it up with a couple coats of this salad bowl wax finish, just to protect it and because it smells good. So just going to use a little paper towel here to put my finish on. Just fold it over a few times. Make sure you shake your finish up good. And this is going to be fun. I love putting finish onto these things. Oh, yes. Best part of any project is putting the finish on. Look at how freaking pretty that is. Oh gosh, it's amazing. Oh, that's so pretty. Dang, that's even prettier than I thought it was going to be. Just kind of get a coat all over it here. This first coat on, and we'll let it dry for a bit, and then stick another coat on it there. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, I'll check back in whenever I've got all the finishing done. Alright, so here's the finished handle, all waxed up and ready to be put on the plane. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really good, it fits my hand good, and it's going to be something that's nice and unique to this plane. That nobody else is going to have. I'm not planning on getting rid of this plane for a very long time, so I think it's going to be a very nice touch. And so next I'm going to be doing a knob here in the same style with maple through the middle, walnut on the sides, and I'll be turning that on the lathe. So yeah, I guess let's get to that. I'm not going to show the glue up or anything. It's going to be exactly the same as this glue up was, but I'm going to get it glued up, and then we'll head over to the lathe and turn a nice little knob for the front so that it matches.